Green signatures. Okay, so the Burning Man is going on right now. Goes into September 5th, I think. So, Waking Dreams, I didn't realize I had that title. It's like, jeez. All right, so yeah, they're going into the astral realm. It's a bunch of rituals. It's not all bad. It does have a soul sucking energy connected to it. But it's like going to church, Go to church, get soul sucked, leave, get your soul back. So Burning Man, it does have some soul capturing energy connected to it. But that's no different than anything else. Like I say, it's religion has it, the media has it, and so on. But the Burning Man energy, there's a lot of important people that go there. It's kind of a big deal. Not that any of us will find out, but you never know. But there are, I don't know, it's just weird. The world is weird right now. Gorbachev, I believe, died. I think I saw something on that. That's, from Russia. That's kind of a big deal. So I don't know. This timeline is still, it's not settled out. Whatever it's here to accomplish, it's kind of a chaotic energy right now. It has not quite settled down just yet. Maybe December will calm down. There's all these agendas going on right now, more than ever. I'm not sure ever, but there's a lot of agendas happening right now. So the Burning Man consciousness, I'll tap into that to a certain level. It's not that important, but at least I'm putting it out there. It's kind of like these Bohemian Grove type of energies. It has some similarities to it. It's just this one's more well known. So similar to the other, I'm not going to go into details. I think you have an idea of that. But yeah, the Burning Man energy it has good vibrations to a certain level, but there's also a lot of alternative agendas there. Like I said, you have major CEOs, powerful people going there. So, it is still part of our dictating our reality to a certain level. I just wait for the protesters to find that place. There's no internet there. There's no nothing. So, and of course, the Jupiter Alliance, I just tap into those energies of just the Jupiter energy, or, another way of looking, these planets here, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Mercury. I was going to list them all, but they all have like their own versions of Earth themselves. It might be at a different frequency. It's just they're kind of like they're all us to some level. They wouldn't be here. There's different reasons why they're here, but they are part of our journey. Even if some people feel like they are real, they're not real, whatever. You can go all day with that one. Like space is not real. Okay, whatever. Whatever works for you. But either way, all these planets have a connection with us, and they're part of our, they're kind of like on the wagon train with us. And so, other people, they might not have memories of lifetimes. How many memories do you need to remember? But there's like an Earth version of Jupiter. You said a higher frequency, but still a lot of heavy vibrations, challenges there. Similar to like Saturn. Saturn's probably more known for that. Even, of course, Mars and planet Chaos. Of course, Saturn's manipulation here is more subtle, and Jupiter has a similar energy. It's similar to the Arcturians. It's not exactly, but it can be higher frequency beings. But once again, everybody has issues. But that's not why we're going into that part. So it just connects to the Earth. The Jupiter Alliance, just I don't know, that name came about. So it just get Jupiter's perspective of our reality. How about that? At least our state of time. Let's put it that way. So basically, channeling the planet's consciousness. I'm not sure if it's going to cure cancer. It probably could, but it might cure cancer. But then You see the universe for what it really is, a bunch of reptilians trying to take you and, abduct everybody or whatever that's going on there. Of course, you have the Guardian Eden over here, and you have the problem universe over there. And the ninth dimension council, I've channeled them before. Basically, I'm just adding a different name to them. I can't remember what they're called before. It doesn't really matter. The Palladian ninth dimension. Yeah, either way, it's still the same beings. They were in Star Trek. Let's put it that way. Just to get their point of view. Yeah, they're a little bit more straight to the point. I might channel them tomorrow also for the webinar. We'll see. Yeah, it's just they're kind of like God beings, but they let us do what we need to do. They're not interfering. Of course, a lot of beings are like that. Yeah, I would just leave it at that. So Burning Man, not going to go too deep into that one. I don't think anybody really cares, but it's not, it's still there. It's still kind of a big deal. I mean, sort of a big deal. Oh, anyway, it's we're not out of the woods yet, obviously. Well, you never know. The way things are going right now. Yeah, things are just. Let's see, we're going into September. I guess we're going into the Shemitah, which is connected to like 9/11, or it goes into that. The Shemitah. I think we're in the Shemitah now. I can't remember. I don't know how to spell Shemitah. Oh yeah, the other thing is about the Galactic Federation of Worlds. I mean, I've heard. I'm not going to shit on them, but I mean, Ashtar Command's got issues. The Galactic Federation Worlds has issues. They don't got issues. So when they say there was one better than the other, it all depends on your experience with them. So it's just, I'm not going to go there though. Choose your battles. Okay, I've been talking to Economy, private sessions. Have a scheduler, have a shop. It's going slow. I'm on the 11th, I think. Maybe something like that. Same situation here. We have a webinar, I think tomorrow. Social networking behind the scenes. It's a praying man. Energy, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, without going into too much detail, and that's a little bit, kind of like a portal energy there. Got your little Burning Man. They're going to burn him on the 5th. I think it's the 5th it goes to. It says here somewhere. Yeah, it's the 5th. So that's next Monday. Yep, it's a nice day out in the sand. Yeah. Well, they build this all up so you have somewhere to go. They just drive out there, live out in the desert in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I guess you can get stuff there for free, or they trade a lot. So it has an alien energy, but it also has a reptilian energy connected to it also. So that's like a half Palladian, half reptilian agenda there. So yeah, you can say it's not all horrible. Not to say the Palladians are perfect or anything, but it has a lot of agendas. Obviously, it's got a little dragon there. So it's got some. I don't know. It's got some stuff going on there. Yeah, not to say the Palladians are perfect. Far from that. Anyway, yeah, can't make everybody happy. Okay, all right. Going to the Burning Man frequency. I'm not sure if it's going to help anybody here in their life situation, but it does. Yeah, time portal energy. I just picked up on time traveling frequencies. They do try to create the future, creating timelines. So that's why it's kind of a big deal. Obviously, you got to tap into it, and it's not that important for most people or anybody for that matter, but it's a ritual going on, and it looks like fun, and maybe it is. But then when you have high rollers there, I don't know, still kind of, blood sacrifice going on other by any chance? Missing persons by any chance? You never know. Yeah, I'm sure it's all just, fun and games. I'm sure it's just like regular life. Yeah, there's some rich. It's just not the best frequency there. So and it was originated in California, so that's kind of a big deal. So, all right, we head to the neutral side of all of this, and yeah, I feel the artistic side of that. Okay, all right, blessings. Greece, you, we have a consciousness of the Burning Man frequencies. We are, yes, there's an artistic ability, basically to find the artist within the person. Of course, yes, there's a shadow energy is there, and you can say a place of that capacity is allowing someone to show their vices, show their dark side. Doesn't mean they want people to kill each other, but if you want to open yourself up, go right ahead. It is a place of like flower children, flower child energies. There is a Garthian energies there, and yes, you said the elf people, the elves have yes a bit of a dark side. You're seeing human nature that is connecting to itself. You can say it is going into itself, and it's for you to discover. Yes, it's kind of in the shadows. It's not out in the open as it could be. It's not intended to be. But there are obviously this message isn't for everybody, because many are still trying to figure out themselves, their own self love. And you can say a place like Burning Man is a place where love is. There is, of course, a lot of manipulation at a place like this, but this is how you figure yourself out. Also, kind of just you try not to hide anything. You just let yourself go free. Just have fun, and hopefully, no one takes advantage of that. So it is a ritual state. There are higher elites involved with it. I mean, even your elites need to have some fun, so that's part of it also. But yes, it's kind of still a secluded, get together. They don't want they'll invite some, but they really don't want anybody to really be. They don't really want attention to this, with all honesty. It has attention, but they don't really want anyone to really care, because there are a lot of hidden agendas there, of course. And yes, there is positive there. We want to just not, bring out low frequency. It is letting souls be free, just letting them open up. And in which other society needs that, obviously, on so many different levels. But we'll leave you with that. This is just a short message from us. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Jupiter Alliance, or we are beings from Jupiter. We do have connections to Palladian beings. We have connections to feline frequencies. You can say we are a future version of your world. Realize there are worlds that are created without problems. I mean, there might be some, but for the most part, your awareness of basically the love of each other. It's basically you just enjoy each other's company, even if those that you don't enjoy their company, you don't hang out with them. You go somewhere where you want to be. You just go where your heart desires. To give you an idea what a higher frequency realm looks like. You're not torturing yourself with a world like this. I mean, not to say this world does not have its purpose. It definitely has its purpose. It's for you to grow rapidly. To do what you do, take everything that you enjoy and you do opposite here. But like you want to be attractive in one realm, and yes, you are. You come to this realm and you do the, yes, you bring out the ugly. It's not always the case. But also, you feel like the human body doesn't exactly last very long. And that right there is like heresy in many civilizations. To have a body that does not sustain itself, it doesn't really. You have to add food to it. A lot of alien groups on here have to have food. So that's an alien energy just there. So you're just so this body here can be reactivated to the higher frequencies that some of you are aware. Some of you are doing so, but you're also realizing at a higher frequency you can only learn so much. Now this is a story some of you already heard, but you can say there's a ceiling after a while where you have to, you get to a level of positivity, growth, where you're not growing anymore. And you can go on for lifetime to lifetime. You can have 1,000 lifetimes where you're barely growing. And then you drop down, not to say you're dropping, well, not to say this world, it is a lower frequency, but you go into this world, you dive into this planet to expand yourself. Now realize if you had lifetimes at a higher frequency for a long time, sometimes at a lower energy, it's hard to grow, it's hard to learn. As some of you can see here, somebody are learning, they're not learning anything. Well, they like the frequency of not learning. There's a lot of that here. It's like they don't want to listen, they don't want this. They keep going back in the same relationship over and over again. It's like it's all about the ride. It's not about exactly what you're getting at. Of course, they are always getting something out of it. But there's a lot of souls here, obviously, are very headstrong, don't really want to evolve as others might think. But some do get lost here very easily because it does snap it does break you out of an addiction. You can say, obviously, it causes addictions, but it can also break you out of a cycle because at the higher frequencies, a lot of souls are addicts, higher dimensional addicts. And so they drop down to this earth to break it. Yeah, you're not always aware of it though. You're actually breaking a lot of old timelines. You're breaking a lot. You're not supposed to know. And others that are part of like reptilian alliances and the secret space programs and all of that. Well, sometimes you need to go through something like that to once again for your soul to grow. You'd be surprised. You bring a soul here, as many of you know, souls don't seem like they always grow, and some of them don't. They do to a certain extent, but it is, yes, it's good for a person to recognize it. Those that don't recognize it, obviously will have difficulties accepting this. But we're at such a high level, it's hard to see what you're doing here. Obviously, we're kind of talking in code at the same time. But for the SSP situation, a lot of souls just like the adventure of it. They might go into it's like a relationship. You go into, you get abused, you get beat up. But also, there's a reason behind it. There's always a reason to everything. It's not just for the adventure of it. There's something there that you need for your soul journey here, for your existence. Once again, when you're at the higher frequencies, you have your cake and ice cream. You have everything there. After a while, it's like you can get stagnant. You become very plain. So you come to a world like this, a chaotic planet, and all of a sudden you have all these characteristics, and all of a sudden you're a different person altogether. And so why so many keep coming here is because you're creating different versions of yourself, you can say. Well, you're beating your soul up to open up to you to who you are right now. Now, obviously, who you are now is not who your soul really is obviously a lot more, but you are the character what you need to be here. You're sculpting yourself. You're sculpting what is necessary. And some of you are healing a great amount of wounds from other lifetimes. It's like you had a whole lot of fun in your past life, taking over planets or whatever it might have been. Who knows? But eventually it all comes back to you. There's a lot of alien beings that feel like the karma won't come back to you. Yes, as long as they avoid planets like yours, that could be true. But those that have caused difficulties here, they can see their soul deteriorating over time. It does get to them. Those that use their power over society, it does come back to them in some form or another. They can be haunted of what they've done here too. It doesn't matter what dimension you're in. it can't come back. It's just, it finds a way. So if you're a manipulator of this reality, it always finds a way. Even souls that erase themselves, like they don't want to exist at all ever again, it still finds them because there's always fractals of their soul still centered around somewhere. So, but in this planet, there's so many different reasons why you come here. For many, this world is unnecessary. It's like you're not going to close this world down until it's accomplished with, because there's so many headstrong beings that think, oh, what? Hey, look, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm perfect. We don't need this world anymore. And the other beings are like, you said that last time, and then you're a pain in the ass. So this world's staying the way it is. Well, at least maybe not all aspects of it, but there's a lot of pain in the ass beings here. As some of you noticed that don't want anything. It's like this world is held. It's held at this. Yes, it doesn't have to be so vicious to everyone. So there are a lot of timelines coming down. Basically, there is an awakening here, but this world has reason. It's not just to cause chaos. It's just it's a war in your universe, and society itself has to make peace. Like the whole, literally, society here. Many of you are talking crazy about aliens and higher dimensional beings, which it would be nice if society would accept those things. Obviously, they're shut off for obvious reasons. They don't want to see it. I'm just so headstrong, they don't want to hear about it because they don't want to go back to that. So it's just, there's a divide here, not just with the elites controlling society, but society itself, as you can see. Society doesn't always want to get along with stuff. As you can see, like your neighbors and everything, doesn't mean you have to get along with everybody. But just basically society gets on the same page. Obviously, it's basically open to all these different points of view. And as you can see, that's not happening. But yeah, you don't have to all get along, but at least be open to points of view. And then your world starts to shake and transform. It's transforming now, just not as rapidly as some of you like. So you will have some kind of accomplishment here while you're here. Trust us. This is not all for nothing. That's not my feeling. Reese, you are the ninth dimension blessings council, ninth dimension council, whatever name that works for you. Grace, you, your current state of mind. Obviously, there's a lot of hidden timelines. There are some beings that want to cause a lot of cataclysms, cause the end of the planet. Only because they can write their name on this planet. Say, hey, look, I ended that world. That happens all the time, actually. There's always some being trying to take over your planet. I think some of you actually feel it. Doesn't mean you have to focus on it, but some of you actually literally feel it. It's like, oh, it's the end of the world coming. Well, you might be on that timeline possibly, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But you've dealt with the beings that are here. So there's all these different alien beings coming here, like this is a vacation place. And some of them help it evolve. Others are like, I cannot believe this world is still like this. Imagine some of you have a humor with that one. Like you leave the world for 1,000 years to come back. It's like, wow, I thought there'd be some kind of improvement here. I mean, there's some, but man, it's like it's gotten worse. Some of you might be able to relate to that. So why many of you are coming here, some of you have contracts here you can't seem to get yourself out of, because the planet has basically beings that are extremely selfish have found every way they can to make things even more difficult for everyone. It's like once you think you're out of your incarnation cycle, oh, finally get to retire. And then beings from other civilizations come here and just run amok here. And it's like just when you're about to leave, like you might be leaving your body at 30, 40, whenever. It's like, oh, jeez. It's like just when I thought it was all over with. And then you're here for another 10 years or whatever it might be. reason we're bringing this up, you can see it in music. Some musicians are from other planets here to cause the world difficulties. Yes, be loved by others, but also mind controlling society. It's in everything. It's in politicians. Some politicians are set here. It's like, how'd that person get in power? Oh yeah, that's right, to be a dictator. Great. So there's all these different little agendas. Not impossible to see, but as you go more galactic, it becomes more clear. It might look like a comedy. It might not feel like a comedy because obviously you're feeling, but over time, hopefully you can laugh about it. Um, and there's obviously times when you just gotta be mad about it, but there are times, hopefully you have times where you can laugh. Well, basically, you're seeing how they're doing more of this. They can only cause trouble for your world for so long. Well, for certain individuals, they have to let up eventually. Like they might give it your all and just attack you constantly, obviously from other dimensions, which is not fair. Not everybody goes through that, but those of you do, you feel like you're going crazy to a certain level mentally, yeah, because you have like a siege of just always exit. This basically became very important. And now you have like all these beings that surround you trying to nitpick you and kind of harass you mentally. And what fair is that fair? No. But that's kind of the point of this planet is to, well, once they retire and move away, you go through an upgrade. So basically, kind of like you call them in to test you to improve yourself, actually to upgrade yourself. It sounds like a twisted game, but as you go more understand the non-physical realm, those of you that are surviving reality, the non-physical beings, they can't hide themselves forever. Because basically what you're achieving here is to see more of them. Maybe not in full detail. Do you want to see them in full detail? Not to distract you, but you're being tested. Realize you come here for a certain reason to have a certain, upgrade, correct? You were here to evolve. Well, these beings are obviously testing you to see if you can handle the upgrade. Of course, they hit you with a low grade to see because if you deserve it. Yeah, they come here, they make fun of you and things like that. You just got to fight. You just stay strong. Realize we're talking about certain individuals here. We're not talking about everybody. Some people don't have any of that. They're just living on a beach. Well, the rest of you are like, man, I feel like I got migraines. My body's falling apart. Something's going on. It's like, yeah, you're being tested. Some feel like, well, I'm being tested for. Well, to evolve, to kind of like a weird analogy, but you're in the zoo. You're slowly getting to see the audience because right now you can't see those that put you in that cage, and now you're here to see outside of everything. Now, some people see beings and all that's great, but some aren't really evolving either. Some have such an arrogance, it's unbelievable. That's Some have they have not grown mature wise. They're just here to help with the vibration, but maturity level is just not there. But they can see beings though. But some of you are here to really see how this is all being done. In this lifetime, you'll see some glimpses of it. You'll see what you need to see. Let's put it that way. Don't feel like you're on your deathbed. I didn't see everything. You'll have either way. It'll all make sense. Let's put it that way. Well, this is for those that are going through a lot of energy attacks, mental attacks, and all this. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree with that. It's like I'm just getting attacked for no reason. You'd be surprised because with all these attacks, they might shut you down, intuitive wise to a certain level, but over time, you do actually power yourself up. And sometimes some of you are just powerful. Sometimes you're just too powerful here, and so they have to shut you down. But it doesn't mean you're not going to reactivate. Some of you some of you have like, you can alter timelines, all this. Like, don't do that. Stop doing that. Stop messing up our world. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously. Stop trying to make yourself rich. It's not time for all that. So there's some of that going on. That's a little bit different than what we were talking about before. What we're talking about before is basically those that are going through a lot of mental hardships, attacks, visitations, things of that kind. But you're actually, I mean, what is your end game? What do you feel like you're getting at? Feel like you're going to get to be able to see more here? Well, know more of how this is all put together. Is that kind of, if that's your prerogative? It's not for everybody, but some of you like to know. Well, it's part of your soul progress. Well, basically, the game can't be like this anymore. Yeah, the old guard can't do what they're doing. They can't manipulate society anymore. So basically, you're moving up the levels, so they can't screw the world anymore. Obviously, there's a lot of being screwing around with the planet, but that's why you're all here to assist. All right, blessings.